Right now, someone in your life has an opinion about you that you're not even aware of, and here's the strange part. It's already shaping decisions you make today. The clothes you didn't wear, the message you deleted before sending, the idea you kept to yourself in a meeting. Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire on earth, and he still had to remind himself every single night that other people's judgments were smoke visible, but never worth holding on to. If an emperor needed practice to let go of this, maybe you do too. Let's break down exactly how. The weight of being watched. Most people live as if there's an invisible jury following them everywhere. Every outfit, every sentence, every decision gets run through a silent trial before it happens. You rehearse a text message 5 times. You replay a conversation from 3 days ago, wondering if you sounded stupid. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect, the belief that people notice and judge us far more than they actually do. Studies on it are almost comical in their results. People convinced everyone saw the stain on their shirt, when in truth, most of the room never looked twice. The jury you're so afraid of is mostly empty seats. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet he wrote to himself at night like a man arguing with his own fear. He reminded himself that other people's judgments were smoke, visible but ungraspable, and gone the moment you stopped feeding them attention. He didn't write these reminders because he'd mastered indifference. He wrote them because he hadn't, and knew he needed to practice it daily, like a soldier drilling a wound that kept reopening. Think of the last time you cancelled a plan, changed your words, or hesitated to post something, not because you disagreed with it, but because you imagined a stranger's raised eyebrow. That eyebrow never existed. You built it yourself, out of fear, and then obeyed it like a law. The tragedy isn't that people judge you, it's that you judge yourself through a face that isn't even looking. You're not performing for an audience, you're performing for a memory of judgment that was never real to begin with. What is actually yours? Epictetus, once a slave, arrived at a strange kind of freedom that most free men never touch. He noticed something simple. Your body can be owned, your reputation can be stolen, your name can be dragged through mud, but your judgments, the way you interpret what happens to you, belong to no one but you. This is the line most people never draw. They treat an insult and their reaction to the insult as one single event. They aren't. Someone's words are outside your control the second they leave that person's mouth. Your interpretation of those words, whether you crumble or shrug, is the only part that was ever yours to begin with. Picture 2 co-workers hearing the exact same criticism in a meeting. One spirals for the rest of the week, replaying it before bed. The other nods, takes what's useful, and forgets the rest by lunch. Same sentence, same room, 2 completely different outcomes, because the words were never the real event. The reaction was, this isn't about pretending words don't sting, it's about noticing where the sting actually comes from, not from the other person's mouth, but from the meaning you handed it the moment it landed. Once you see this clearly, you stop asking, why did they say that about me, and start asking, why did I let it move in and live here? Their opinion is a guest. You're the one who keeps giving it a key. The mirror, not the window. Here's something almost nobody tells you. Most opinions people hold about you are actually about them. Their judgments run through their own fears, their own insecurities, their own unmet expectations of themselves. A man who calls you reckless is often a man terrified of his own caution. A woman who calls you cold might be someone who's been burned by giving too much warmth to people who didn't deserve it. When people speak about you, they are frequently just describing the parts of themselves they haven't made peace with yet. Seneca noticed this pattern in Roman society long before modern psychology gave it a name, projection. He wrote that the angriest critics are rarely reacting to the person in front of them, They're reacting to an old wound that person accidentally touched. There was once a young craftsman in Seneca's circle, criticized harshly for working too slowly. The same critic praised another man's identical pace as careful and deliberate. The work never changed, only the observer's mood did. The craftsman realized the criticism said nothing about his hands. It said everything about the critic's patience that day. This doesn't mean every criticism is invalid. Some feedback is real, useful, worth keeping. But before you let a judgment rearrange your identity, ask a simple question. Is this window showing me myself, or is it a mirror showing me them? Most people aren't describing you. They're confessing themselves out loud and calling it your name, the price of approval. Chasing approval isn't free. It has a cost, and the cost is paid in the only currency you can never get back: time. Seneca warned that people are frugal with money and reckless with the one resource that actually matters. We calculate every dollar spent, yet hand out our days to strangers whose opinions we won't remember caring about a year from now. There's a particular kind of exhaustion that comes from constantly adjusting yourself for an audience that never asked you to change, softening your opinions in meetings so no one dislikes you, choosing a safe career path because it sounds impressive at dinner parties, staying in a version of yourself that was built for applause, not for truth. This is the psychological cost of what researchers call chronic social validation, seeking a pattern where self-worth becomes outsourced entirely to other people's reactions. The mind never rests because the scoreboard is being run by people who barely think about you between conversations. Consider a man who spent a decade climbing a ladder he never wanted, just to hear his relatives finally say he'd made something of himself. He got the words, he didn't get the years back. And the strange part, the relatives forgot the compliment within a week. He remembers the decade every single day. Approval is rented, never owned. You pay for it constantly, and it's returned to the lender the moment you stop performing. The applause fades in seconds. The years you spent chasing it don't come back at all. Misunderstood is not defeated. Somewhere along the way, people started treating being misunderstood as a personal failure. It isn't. It's often the tax you pay for having a shape of your own. Marcus Aurelius held enormous power, yet he was frequently misread by the very people closest to him, mistaken for weak when he chose patience, mistaken for cold when he chose restraint. He understood something most people resist. You can either be fully yourself and occasionally misunderstood, or fully agreeable and quietly disappear. There's no third option where everyone gets you completely and you remain unchanged. Think about anyone who ever built something original, an idea, a business, a piece of art, a boundary in a relationship. In the beginning, it always looks wrong to someone. Too slow, too strange, too much, too little. The shape of anything new rubs against people's existing expectations, and friction isn't proof you're wrong. It's proof you're actually doing something different from what came before. A woman once left a stable job to build something uncertain. Her family called it reckless for 2 full years. On year 3, when it worked, the same choice was renamed brave and visionary by the exact same people. The decision never changed, only their comfort with the outcome did. Being misunderstood doesn't mean you took a wrong turn. Sometimes it just means you're early, and the people around you are still catching up to a version of you they haven't met yet. Waiting to be understood before you move is how most people die exactly where they started. Building your own compass. Detachment from opinion doesn't happen through willpower alone. It's built through small, repeatable habits, the same way Marcus Aurelius built his through nightly writing, and Epictetus through daily self-questioning. Start with a simple audit. At the end of each day, ask yourself which decisions today were made from your own values and which were made to avoid someone else's disapproval. Most people are shocked at the ratio. It's rarely even close to 50-50. Next, separate feedback from identity. When criticism arrives, write it down plainly, without the emotional charge attached. They said the project was too slow, not, I am incompetent. The words are neutral. The meaning you inject is optional, and you're the only one with the authority to inject it. Then, build what could be called a personal constitution, 3 or 4 values that don't move, no matter who's watching. Honesty, effort, loyalty to the people who've earned it. Whatever yours are, write them down somewhere physical. When judgment comes, check the decision against the list, not against the mood of the room. Seneca used to imagine an admired mentor watching his actions, not to perform for that person, but to borrow their steadiness when his own was thin. Try the same. Not to impress anyone real, but to remember what your calmest, most grounded self would actually choose, underneath all the noise. A compass doesn't ask the wind for approval. It just holds its direction until the wind gets tired of pushing. The quiet strength nobody claps for. There is a very specific kind of strength that never gets applauded, because, by definition, no one sees it happen. It's the strength of letting a comment pass through you without setting up a home inside your chest. It doesn't look dramatic. Nobody films it. There's no music behind it. It's just a person hearing something unkind, feeling the initial sting, and choosing not to marinate in it for the rest of the night. Epictetus compared the untrained mind to a small dog tied to a moving cart, dragged, barking, exhausted, fighting a battle it never needed to fight. The trained mind walks calmly alongside the same cart, aware it's moving forward regardless of the noise it makes about it. You will always face people who misjudge you. That was true for an emperor writing by candlelight, a former slave who outthought his captors, and a philosopher advising a corrupt court while men plotted around him. If detachment from opinion escaped none of them, it isn't a reasonable goal for you to expect an easier version either. But here's what waits on the other side of that discomfort: a life that finally belongs to you again. Decisions made in your own voice. A mind that stops renting itself out to strangers for the price of their fleeting approval. Nobody claps when you finally stop needing them to. That's exactly how you know it's real.